All right, winter is right around the corner, but that doesn't mean your house has to feel like an icebox. We've put together a super simple 10-step battle plan that you can knock out in a weekend to fortify your home and keep that winter chill where it belongs, outside. So, let's get to it. So, let me ask you this. Is your home really ready for the cold? I mean, think about it. Are you always grabbing a sweater even when the heat's cranked up? Do your feet feel like ice cubes when you walk across the floor in the morning? You know, those are the little signs that your home is losing the fight against winter. And trust me, those little warning signs can turn into massive problems fast. We're talking about sky-high heating bills, the absolute nightmare of a burst pipe, and just that feeling that your home is never quite warm and cozy. But the good news is, a little bit of prep work now is going to save you a ton of headaches later. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to seal up your home's outer shell, what we call the envelope, to lock the cold out. Then, we'll tune up your inside systems so they run as efficiently as possible. After that, we'll move on to protecting your pipes from freezing, which is a big one. And finally, we'll put together a simple emergency plan, just so you're ready for anything. Let's start with that first line of defense.
Okay, mission number 1 is all about building a fortress. Your home's envelope, that's just the walls, the windows, the doors, is your main shield against winter. Our goal here is to make it airtight.
And we're going to start with one of the most common weak spots, your doors. You'd be shocked at how much cold air can sneak through even the tiniest gap. It makes your furnace work way harder than it has to. So let's get those gaps sealed up for good. Here's a really cool trick to find those sneaky leaks. It's called the dollar bill test. Just close your door on a dollar bill. If you can pull it out super easily without any drag, you've found a draft. The fix is pretty simple. Get some new weather stripping on there, install a door sweep at the bottom, and maybe tighten up the hinges for a snugger fit. All right, next up, we're taking on the windows. You should really think of bare windows as giant holes in your walls that are just constantly bleeding heat out of your house. But don't worry, there's a really easy way to add another layer of protection. And as you can see, the difference is huge. These inexpensive shrink film kits you can get at any hardware store are a fantastic solution. You just stick the film on the window frame and use a hairdryer to shrink it tight. What you get is a warmer room, way less condensation on the glass, and, best of all, a lower energy bill. It's a super simple DIY that has a massive payoff. Now, tip number 3. This one is a real game changer. And this quote says it all. Spending a little bit of time with a caulk gun is one of the best things you can do. We're looking for all those little gaps around your windows, your doors, and the trim. All those secret entry points for cold air. The process itself is really straightforward. First, you've got to scrape out all that old, cracked caulk. Then, give the surface a really good cleaning. Finally, apply a nice, new, continuous line of exterior sealant. The whole point is to create a seamless, flexible barrier that's going to lock out both wind and water. And hey, don't forget the small stuff. Every single pipe, wire, or vent that goes through your wall is like a little super highway for cold air to get inside. You want to seal up these gaps from both the inside and the outside using some low expansion foam or sealant. It's like giving your house a nice, thick winter coat. Okay, with our exterior defenses totally beefed up, it's time for mission 2, tuning up your home's internal systems. We're going to optimize everything for peak warmth and efficiency. Now, if your house has a crawl space, that could be the secret reason your floors are always so cold. By getting that space under control, you're not just going to get warmer floors, but you'll actually improve the air quality inside your house too. The key here is to lay down a thick plastic sheet over the bare ground. It's called a vapor barrier. You'll want to aim for a thickness somewhere between 6 and 10 mil. This one simple step blocks all that cold, damp air from rising up into your home, which means, you guessed it, warmer floors. All right, let's talk about some really simple HVAC housekeeping. I'm talking a few tiny adjustments to your thermostat and vents that can make a surprisingly big difference for your comfort and your wallet. Here's a pro tip for you. Go check your thermostat's fan setting right now. You always want it set to auto, not on. See, auto means the fan only kicks on when the furnace is actually heating. If it's on, it's just blowing cool air around between cycles and wasting energy. And hey, while you're at it, just do a quick walk around and make sure none of your vents are blocked by furniture or rugs. Here's another one of those sneaky drafts you probably haven't thought about, your dryer vent. You know that little flap on the outside wall? If that thing gets stuck open with lint, it's literally like having a small window open 24/7. So clean out the lint, make sure that flap can close nice and tight. You're not just stopping a draft, you're also reducing a serious fire hazard. Mission 3 is all about protecting your plumbing, and honestly, this might be the most important one of all. A burst pipe is pretty much a homeowner's worst nightmare. It can cause thousands and thousands of dollars in damage. Let's make absolutely sure that doesn't happen to you. Your water heater is working extra hard during the winter. You can give it a little help and save some cash by insulating the first few feet of the hot and cold water pipes that connect to it. This simple little step just helps the water stay hotter as it travels to your faucets. And while you're down there, check the temperature setting on the tank. 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 49 Celsius, is really the sweet spot. It's plenty hot for showers and dishes, but it's much safer, especially if you have kids, and it's way more energy efficient than those higher settings. Okay, any pipes that run along an outside wall are at the highest risk of freezing. So on those really frigid nights, just open up the cabinet doors under your kitchen and bathroom sinks. This lets the warm air from the room circulate around the pipes. And if you hear a serious deep freeze is coming, letting a faucet drip ever so slowly can be just enough to prevent a very expensive disaster. All right, we've reached our final mission, preparing for the unexpected. A big winter storm can easily knock out the power, but if you have a solid plan in place, you can handle it with confidence and, most importantly, peace of mind. Here's your quick emergency checklist. First things first, test your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Next, find your main water shutoff valve and label it clearly. You do not want to be scrambling to find that in an emergency. And please remember, a generator must always be run outdoors, far away from your house. If a pipe does freeze, use a hairdryer to gently thaw it out, never ever an open flame.
And there you have it. You've completed the weekend battle plan. You've sealed the leaks, you've optimized your systems, and you're prepared for whatever comes your way. Your home is now a fortress against the cold. So now you can kick back, relax, and actually enjoy the winter, knowing you're ready for anything.
Okay, just one last very important note. This is all meant to be a guide to get you started. Your safety is always priority number one. So if you're not 100% comfortable with any of these tasks, especially anything involving gas or electricity, please just call a professional.